We welcome you to Great Park in Irvine, California. It's game 15 of the 2025 CCL Summer League. Aidan, Pham alongside Andrew Giesler once again. It's great to be with you. The OC Riptide 6-6 taking on the San Diego Bombers, who are 2-5. And Andrew, we got to start with talking about last night's game. It's a close one, and the Riptide just unable to come out on top.
Yeah, it was the pitching that, kind of was solid for the Riptide, at least toward the end. The bullpen continues to stay strong until, Dane Grant came in. It wasn't his fault, though, at all. He pitched well, and even Seeley, when he was on the mound, pitched pretty well. Also just happened to let up those 2 runs in the beginning. Offense, we kind of got going late in the game for the Riptide. We'll see today how they can bounce back, because a whole lot is happening in the standings, and things are starting to shake out, especially around the league.
And I was talking to interim head coach Grant Mayu before the game, and he was just like, hey, the Blues were just the better team yesterday. It's not that the Riptide played a bad game at all. They just, in the end, got on base more and scored more runs, and they're looking for a bounce-back win tonight against the San Diego Bombers, the 3rd meeting between these 2 clubs this summer.
Yeah, and it's the series is tied 1-1 right now. The Riptide were obviously not happy about that opening day loss, but they want revenge. They want to win this game, and it really is going to be a big game, with the Barons beating the Oaks and the Foresters going down as well to the Blues today. So a whole lot happening standings-wise, and if the Riptide kind of want to jump up, they're only 4.5 games back right now. If they want to jump up, now would be a great time to do it.
And we'll give you the starting lineups for tonight's game, starting with the San Diego Bombers, leading things off the shortstop, Thomas Williams, a switch hitter. Dylan Fishbowl bats 2nd. Lucas Bonham, 2nd baseman, bats 3rd. Michael Rocha, the 3rd baseman, bats 4th. And we'll get you the rest of the lineup in just a moment as Thomas Williams walks up to the plate, getting the start today for the Riptide, the left-handed pitcher, Casey Uper. Uper, like we said, the first start this summer for the Riptide, played at UC Santa Barbara this past year, is transferring to Pepperdine. His first pitch, called strike 1 to Thomas Williams. 5, 6, 7 go Jeremy Jones, Kyle Becker, and James Durflinger. Jack Mullen, the first baseman, bats 8th, and Griffin Zitko behind the dish bats 9th. 0-1. Curveball, strike 2.
Looking at the defense for the Riptide, Johnson in left, Montgomery in center, Salmon in right, and then across the infield we'll go right to left really quick. It's MacArthur, Rosales, Holland, and Evans, and the 2 playing catch, McDonald and Uper.
Uper gets set, the 0-2 pitch. Lined in a center field, base hit from Thomas Williams, gets things started for the Bombers.
And that's, another game where Riptide have let off a lead-off single. The one that comes to mind is the Conejo Oaks when they let off that triple, and then obviously as well it was against the Barons when they let up that home run. So first at bats, like getting ahead if you're the pitchers is huge, and getting outs is very important.
Williams on first, Fishbowl squared up and pulled it back for ball 1. Fishbowl, as of late, has struggled at bat. Has had a big issue with strikeouts, 7 Ks in his last 11 at bats. Runner on first, Thomas Williams, and Casey Uper looking for out number 1. The 1-0 pitch, squared and misses low and in. Nice grab by McDonald, who gets the start behind the dish today for the Riptide. 2 balls, no strikes, no outs, top of the first. Williams aboard with the leadoff single. The wind in center field is blowing straight towards right field. Early start today, a Sunday game, 5:30. First pitch, and Fishbowl steps in. 2 balls, no strikes, and Uper stares at first, kicks the leg, fires a bunt, and fouled back into the net by Fishbowl.
Well, a little bit of a different look with the wind. Normally it's blown out toward left field. Sometimes just out way towards center, directly out. But we've never really had it going toward right field, so it'll be interesting to see kind of how that affects things.
Fishbowl is a right-handed batter. There's 2 lefties in this lineup for the Bombers and a switch hitter in Thomas Williams. 2-1 count. Clips the bottom of the zone, evens up the count 2-2. Fishbowl played at Stevens Institute of Text this past spring. It's 0 for 4 in the last meeting between these two teams. Williams over there towards the cut, and the pitch lined, and it drops in the right field, and runners on first and second for the Bombers to start this ball game.
That's just yet another base runner that Yooper's going to have to deal with. Not necessarily going to be the easiest start for him coming in his first time as a Riptide pitcher, but has the defense behind him. It's a very, very solid lineup out there today for the Tide. So just has to be confident in his stuff.
Yooper, like we talked about, his first start played at Santa Barbara this year, just one appearance and 2 third innings pitched. Some traffic on the base paths. His first pitch to Bonham, taken for strike 1. Lucas Bonham has been efficient for the Bombers this summer, a .310 batting average, making his 8th start.
4 RBIs as well. We'd love to have another one here.
Williams on second, Fishbowl on first, swing and a miss. Bonham quickly ahead in the count 0-2 is Casey Yooper.
Ball kind of fell off the cliffs there. Was looking like a normal changeup and then just dropped out of the sky.
Lucas Bonham gets set, lifts the legs. The pitch bounces on the plate, and maybe have got a piece of Lucas Bonham's, and the bases are loaded for Michael Rocha.
Just not really obviously what you want whatsoever, but talked with Tommy McGuire. He's been in this situation before earlier this year. Is McDonald will go and talk out to with Yooper, and he said, well, the first thing now, if you're a pitcher, you gotta attack the cleanup hitter in Rocha and think, well, we have to strike him out, right? Because then double play ball, and you can get out of it with, no problems. But if you don't get the strikeout, obviously, there's likely to be a run coming across here.
Michael Rocha batting cleanup today. His second game with the Bombers, made his debut for them yesterday against the Santa Barbara Foresters, a game that the Bombers lost 8-1. Was 0 for 4 yesterday and struck out twice. Bases loaded for Rocha. The pitch from Yooper. Inside for ball 1. Rocha this year played at Southeastern Missouri State, a 174 average. Yooper's pitch chopped foul along the third base line. 1 ball and 1 strike. The bases are loaded. Top of the first here in Irvine. No score yet between the Bombers and Riptide. Red arm sleeve on his right arm as he leans the black bat next to his helmet. Upstairs from Yooper, 2 balls and 1 strike. Thomas Williams led things off with a single. Fishbowl also singled, and Lucas Bonham reached with the hit by pitch. Bases loaded, no outs. Top of the first, Rocha. High hop to third. Evans has it, goes to second. The turn, there's no turn to first. They get 1 out. And he steps on the bag for the out number 2. So there's 2 away, and a big play for the Riptide there.
Good play by Evans. Sees runner in front of him, knows that likely not going to be able to get the out at the plate, so instead throws to Rosales at second, trying to get the double play, but Rosales kind of caught up from Bonham in that slide.
Thomas Williams scored from third, so the Bombers a 1-0 lead to start this ball game. Jones lines 1 back foul.
This is the earliest the Bombers have scored in the series so far. In game number 2, it took them until the 8th inning before they could get on the box score. And in game number 1, opening day for the Riptide, it took them until inning number 4.
Jeremy Jones with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Yooper. Breaking ball, strike 1 to Jeremy Jones. Jones also another late addition to the Bombers. Was 2 for 4 yesterday, is coming into this one on a 5-game on-base streak. Rocha at first. Fishbowl at third. The pitch misses low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. Runners on first and second. Casey Uper, the pitcher. He gets set, fires the 1-2, and it misses high. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I think the goal there was the breaking ball, but didn't pull down on it just enough, so that ball stays above the zone. Good miss, though. Doesn't want to miss that in the zone, so.
Lefty on lefty matchup between Jones and Uper. 2-2 pitch. Line towards third. Evans has it, fires to first. Back safely over there. Rocha gets the out with Jones, and this is Kyle Becker.
A good job from Evans, getting himself settled at third base. We've seen him at second quite a few times in a row now. Now finally back to where he normally has played. But I talked with him, and he says he's played all over the infield, so he's comfortable wherever Coach puts him.
It's the second now, and this one lifted high in the air, and it twists foul on the left side and lands behind the Riptide bullpen. Kyle Becker is in the transfer portal after spending this past spring at Nevada. He's a two-way guy for them there. Uper looking for the third strike, and he gets strike 2 called here. 0-2 the count ahead of Kyle Becker. 0 for 4 yesterday with 2 strikeouts for Becker, the designated hitter for the Bombers. Gets the sign now, the 0-2. Misses high once again. 1 ball, 2 strikes against the junior out of San Diego, California. Played in that second meeting with the OC Riptide. He was 0 for 3 in that game. 1-2 waves and misses. Strikeout number 1 for Casey Uper. We head to the bottom of the first inning. The Bombers an early 1-0 lead. Bottom of the first inning, the Riptide trailing 1-0. This is the lineup for Orange County today. Jake Evans leads things off. He's starting at third base. Tyler Holland, the shortstop, bats second, followed by Carter Dans, the designated hitter. Grant MacArthur bats cleanup. Henry McDonald bats 5th. In center field, Reed Montgomery, he bats 6th. Luke Johnson in the 7-hole. Jack Salmon bats 8th, and Marco Rosales. A ground ball in a center field. Leadoff single from Jake Evans extends his 6-game on-base streak.
And you know, it's hard to replace someone like Bradley Navarro in the leadoff spot, but if you're going to do it, Jake Evans is that man. On base percentage of .500 this year, only hitting .269, which is still a very, very good clip. And, you know, that just increases right there.
Takes a swing at the first pitch he sees, and just the start that Coach Mayu would love for the Riptide. Brody Martin Grudzalonic gets the start on the mound and fires to first, back safely Evans. Tyler Holland steps up, righty on righty matchup. Down low from Martin Grudzalonic for ball 1. Tyler Holland gets the start at shortstop out of Arkansas, 1-0. Up and away, a nice catch by Zitko. On a 4-game on-base streak. In his last game, he played on Friday against the Conejo Oaks. He was 0 for 2, was walked once. Evans slides back head first. Brody Martin Grudzalonic recently graduated high school. He's going to the University of Hawaii in the fall. Martin Grudzalonic drops strike 1 in there against Tyler Holland, batting .208 with 5 RBIs this summer for Orange County. Evans about a 5-foot lead at first, to 2-1, line towards first, but just foul. And Tyler Holland steps out, big breath, 1 practice swing as he steps back in, taps the plate, and now awaits the 2-2 pitch from Brody Martin Grudzalonic. Here it is. Opposite batter's box, full count against Tyler Holland.
This is the second start that Martin Grudzalonic has had so far against the Riptide, actually. We'll get his line after this pitch.
A really solid outing for him in that first meeting. 3-2. Misses away ball, 4 runners on first and second for the Riptide. 3 innings pitched with 5 strikeouts, no hits against the Riptide. That was opening day. This is Carter Dans. Lefty faces the righty Brody Martin Grudzalonic, making his 2nd appearance. The other one coming against the Foresters for BMG. Holland on first, Evans on second. The pitch to Dans gets the bottom of the zone for strike 1. Carter Dans has been terrific for the Riptide in his 6th game, coming off back-to-back multi-hit games. 2 yesterday against the Blues and 2 on Friday as he sends one into the net behind home plate. 0-2 the count. Started in left field once this year for Northwestern. Most of his appearances were on the mound, but so far this summer he's played in the outfield, today getting the start as the designated hitter. 2 runners on, 0-2 count. Low and in for ball 1. It's the bottom of the first, the Riptide trailing the Bombers 1-0. Holland's on first, Evans on second, 1-2 count. Black gloves, waves the bat next to his left ear. Twists out of the way as the pitch was up and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes against Carter Dans, a .304 batting average through 5 games.
Played great yesterday, 2 for 4 with 2 singles, a stolen base, and an RBI as well.
5-game on base streak, 2-game hit streak, and stares at the pitch low. Full count once again for Brody Martin Grudzalonic, looking for out number 1 of the first inning. Bombers scored 1 run. That was Thomas Williams. Riptide looking to respond. 3-2. Skied foul along the left side, and it lands out of reach as a couple Little Leaguers try to chase it down.
A whole lot of Little Leaguers here today. Means a lot of candy to be given out.
Big crowd here today for the Riptide at Great Park. And Carter Dan's looking to get aboard. 3-2 pitch from Martin Grudzalonic. Sent back foul. Redo things at 3-2. That boy walks out a couple extra baseballs for our home plate umpire today, Tony Markosha. At first base, James Smith. In third, Andrew Thomas. Martin Grudzalonic shakes off and now gets a pitch he likes. Yet set with a black glove in front of his chest. Looks at second, the pitch. Skied foul on the left side once again. Good at bat here between Carter Dans and Brody Martin Grudzalonic. Has pitched 6 innings for the Bombers so far, 9 strikeouts. Runners on first and second, the pitch. Called strike 3. Carter Dans thought that was ball 4. He threw his bat away. And Tony Markosha rings him up for Martin Grudzalonic's first strikeout today.
Late strike 3 call, but I don't necessarily disagree with it. That's one of those when maybe 1 strike it's not necessarily called, but 2 strikes you've got to be looking to hit.
First out of the bottom of the first. Still runners on first and second for MacArthur. Takes pitch upstairs from Martin Grudzalonic. Jake Evans led things off for the Riptide with a single into right field. Tyler Holland got the walk, and Grant MacArthur up and in from Martin Grudzalonic. 2 balls, no strikes. MacArthur last played on Friday. That was against the Oaks. And righty on righty matchup as those gray gloves waves the bat above his right shoulder. 2-0 pitch. Lined up the middle and a center field. Windmill around third for Evans. He scores, he throw to third, sliding in feet first. It gets by Rocha, and he holds up there. MacArthur settles into second, and RBI for Grant MacArthur ties this ball game up 1-1.
That's a great piece of hitting. The second hit so far we've seen in this game, both straight back up the middle at Martin Grudzalonic. So good job for the Riptide getting the bat on the ball and getting runs around.
Grant MacArthur comes through for the Riptide. We're tied 1-1, bottom of the first inning. Runners both in scoring position with MacArthur on second and Tyler Holland on third. Henry McDonald, the catcher today for the Riptide, in his second start, waves and misses through a breaking ball from Martin Grudzalonic. McDonald made his Riptide debut back on Thursday. That was against the Colton Nighthawks. Was 1 for 3, had a double, scored a run, and was also walked once. Pitch away, 1 ball and 1 strike against McDonald.
He's one of the handful of catchers now that are kind of in the rotation for the Riptide, along with Crandall, Zakar.
Jimmy Zakar got the start yesterday as the 1-1 is sent foul towards the Riptide dugout. Zakar started yesterday. We've seen Zach Crandall, he also pinched hit yesterday, get a couple of starts. And Henry McDonald gets the nod today. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners on second and third. Riptide looking to take their first lead of the ball game. Martin Grudzalonic gets set in front of his chest, strides and deals low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Henry McDonald just finished his true freshman season at Cal Poly. 5 at-bats there, no hits recorded. 2-2. Back foul into the backstop. You do things at 2-2. And that boy gets Markosha a couple more baseballs, and they're set to resume play. MacArthur is on second, Tyler Holland on third for Henry McDonald, looking for his first RBI this summer. 2-2 pitch. Low and away, gets by the catcher Zitko, and Holland stays put at third.
Colin definitely could have gone there, but he was a little nervous because almost went earlier from third to home, but would have gotten tossed out if he had done so there. I don't know. We guess we'll never know.
Instead, it's a full count to Henry McDonald and still a tie ball game at 1-1. Back and forth in the right-handed batter's box, awaiting the 3-2 pitch. Here it is. Fly ball towards right field, racing back. Jones makes the grab. Holland tags from third. He scores, and the Riptide lead 2-1, bottom of the first.
That's just a great piece of hitting from McDonald. Get one out to the outfield to get that run to come across on a 3-2 count. Just doing your job. Get that ball out there, get the run across.
Sack fly from Henry McDonald, scores Tyler Holland from third. This is Reed Montgomery. In that opening day matchup, the Bombers won 7-3. On last Tuesday, the Riptide won 10-2. So this matchup history is tied at 1-1. Montgomery takes a pitch at the bottom of the zone for strike one. MacArthur's on third, 90 feet from home. 0-1 count against the lefty, Reed Montgomery. Paints the low outside corner of the zone for strike two against Reed Montgomery. Montgomery takes away 1-2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on third, bottom of the first. Riptide lead 2-1. Played on Friday against the Oaks, was 2 for 5, had 2 runs scored and 2 RBIs. 1-2. Down low, evens up the count 2-2. Reed has shown he's got the power to send it out of the yard. Homered against the Bombers in that last meeting. It was a 2-run blast. 2-2 pitch. Misses away. Full count against Reed Montgomery. Looking to get aboard and cash in Grant MacArthur over there on third base.
In general, against the Bombers in the last time, he was only a double away from the cycle.
Waves and misses. Strikeout number 2 from Martin Grudzalonic. The Riptide able to score 2 runs, and we head to the second. Riptide lead 2-1. Top of the second inning here in Irvine. Aidan Pham alongside Andrew Giesler. The Riptide lead 2-1 over the San Diego Bombers. 7, 8, 9 due up For the Bombers, it's James Derflinger, Jack Mullen, and Griffin Zitko. Casey Uper back out there. Pitch misses high to James Derflinger.
I think for Uper, it's just getting settled in now. You have that first inning under you. Now just attack the batter that you see.
1-0 high fly ball out towards left center. Reed Montgomery settles, squeezes the glove, retires James Derflinger. One away in the top of the second inning. Jack Mullen, righty, steps in. Mullen has been hitless in his 9 at-bats. Batting .091 for the Bombers this summer. Looking to turn things around against Casey Uper, whose first pitch was high and ricocheted off the glove of McDonald and back. No harm done as nobody was on. Bat boy retrieves the bat, and Mullen steps back in, waves the bat around. Has a red sleeve on his right arm, now awaits the 1-0. Misses low, 2 balls and no strikes against Jack Mullen. Getting the start at first base today for the Bombers. Was 0 for 4 yesterday, had 1 strikeout. Uper, the 2-0. Up and away, 3 balls and no strikes. Jonathan Van Ness getting hot in the Riptide bullpen. We talked to coach about Casey Uper. It was going to be a short pitch count for him. Quickly behind the 3-0. In there for strike 1 against Jack Mullen. In that last meeting between these two teams, he was 1 for 2, had a strikeout as well. Three-one pitch. Paints the edge of the zone for a strike 2. Full count against Jack Mullen. Casey Uper looking for strikeout number 2.
Looks like a big zone today. It's been called very fairly on both sides for Tony Marcosia.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. The pitch. Grounded foul towards Zach Thomas next to the Riptide dugout. Mullen walks around the plate and now steps back in. Uper, a beige glove, kicks and deals. 3-2 grounder, couple hops to short. Holland has it. His throw to Grant MacArthur in time. 2 away in the top of the second.
That's what I was saying I was looking for is, you know, for Uper to just calm down, know that your defense, you have a very good defense behind you, and just let them make plays out there. They've done much better air-wise in the past few games, especially that's due to a lot of before BP doing some work out there.
We saw Grant Mayu working with the infielders. A ground ball that drops foul. Jake Evans delivers a good throw, but it goes for not. Redo things here.
Good throw. I think that was, I'd give him a great throw on that one. Diving play all the way across the diamond. Not sure if he would have gotten him, but even for a foul ball, that's a great play from Evans. Talking about good infielding.
And we've seen Jake Evans start at multiple positions in the infield. Started at second yesterday and was terrific for the Riptide. 0-1. Down low. 1 ball and 1 strike against Griffin Zitko, a guy that the Bombers are looking for him to get started as William Sanford starts throwing in the bullpen for the Bombers. 1-1 waves and misses through the curveball from Casey Uper. But Zitko has been hitless in his last 7 at-bats, was 0 for 2 against the Riptide in the last meeting. Batting in the 9 hole, he's the catcher. 1-2 pitch. Bounces on the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zitko's in the portal after spending the last 3 seasons at Cal Lutheran in his second summer with the Bombers. 2-2 pitch. Sent back foul. And drops behind the 21 and over section here at Great Park. We do things, 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on, 2 outs, top of the second, Riptide a 2-1 lead. Griffin Zitko looking to snap that 7 at bat without having a hit streak. Sails one foul on the right side towards the parking lot. He's a really good high school graduate at San Dieguito Academy, a 2-sport athlete in baseball and soccer, won a gold glove there. For hit number 3 today, and called strike 3. What a pitch from Casey Uper, his second punch out today. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Riptide looking to add to their 2-1 lead. Bottom of the second inning with the Riptide, a 1-run lead over the San Diego Bombers. Brody Martin Grudzalanek out of the ball game. William Sanford, the new pitcher for San Diego. Final line on Martin Grudzalanek: 1 inning pitch, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Luke Johnson making his first plate appearance today. Lines one to second, a hopping grab from Lucas Bonham. Quick out for Sanford. Jack Salmon steps up, one big practice swing as he awaits the pitch from William Sanford out of Oregon, a sophomore. Making his second appearance this summer for the Bombers, Sanford pitched against the Foresters. Facing Jack Salmon here. Stares at the pitch, miss away. 1 ball, no strikes. last Saturday against the Foresters. Pitched 1 inning, gave up 3 earned runs. 1-0. Sales in there for strike 1 against Jack Salmon, the right fielder today for the Riptide, transferring to UNLV. Sanford walked 3 batters in that 1 inning as Salmon waves and misses over the top. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Salmon's one of the guys that uses a torpedo bat. I think one of the few, I've only seen him actually on the Riptide lineup so far use it. A little bit different. You'll see in the middle of the barrel just a little bit thicker and everywhere else a little bit slimmer.
1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. That's the outside edge of the zone. Salmon goes down looking. Strikeout number 3 today for the Bombers. Two outs in the bottom of the 2nd inning as Marco Rosales steps in the right-handed batter's box. Luke Johnson started things off, lined to 2nd. Jack Salmon struck out and was a backwards K, and Marco Rosales takes a pitch miss away. 1 ball and no strikes with 2 outs in the bottom of the 2nd. Riptide leading 2-1. Against the Oaks on Friday, Rosales was 0 for 1, scored a run and was walked once. 1-0. Big swing and a miss from Williams. Marco Rosales through Williams Sanford's pitch. Rosales played at Cal State Fullerton this past year, making his 8th start, batting 185. Sanford gets set. And called ball 2 by the home plate umpire, Tony Marcosia. Rosales steps out and adjusts his blue cap with the right arm. Now holds the bat with those black gloves, awaiting the 2-1 from Sanford. Swing and a miss, actually tipped it for strike 2. Hit 6 home runs and 28 RBIs for the Titans of Cal State Fullerton. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on, bottom of the 2nd. Sanford gets set, deals, swing and a miss, strike 3, number 4 for the Bombers. A 1-2-3 inning for the newly inserted William Sanford. Top of the 3rd from Great Park, the Riptide lead 2-1. Casey Uper back out there. We were told it would be a short leash for him. He's thrown 40 pitches so far through 2 innings of work. Facing the top of the lineup, starting with Thomas Williams, and Dylan Fishbow, and Lucas Bonham due up. Leadoff single for Thomas Williams in his last at bat. Uper holds the glove in front of his face as he stares over the first pitch. Up and away to Thomas Williams, the switch hitter batting right-handed.
So far this series batting 4 for 8 with 3 singles now, including today. A double and 2 stolen bases.
1-0, a mountain high pop-up behind the plate. McDonald makes a play and unable to make the grab.
Tough play as a catcher there. You kind of have to get behind that ball because of the way it's spinning, or else that's going to happen. It's going to keep rolling backwards, and definitely a tough play, but maybe if you're Uper, you would like that.
Instead, it's a 1-1 count against Thomas Williams. A really good summer so far, 320 batting average, 2 RBIs, and 3 stolen bases. Uper, the 1-1. A grounder up the middle. Holland has it. Fires to first. MacArthur's got the grab and retires Thomas Williams.
Given the weight of the batter to the third, Killian Fishbowl.
1 out in the top of the third. Dylan Fishbowl, the center fielder, bats second and stepping up. Fishbowl came into this game struggling with strikeouts. Had a single in his last appearance, and he sends one back towards the press box at Great Park. At Stevens this year was batting .398. 14 for 17 on stolen base attempts. 0-1 smashed into shallow left field. Montgomery races all the way in and makes the grab, retires Fishbowl.
Now starting to be efficient. Has retired the past 8 batters for the Bombers now.
Looking for out number 7 with Lucas Bonham. Bonham was hit by Uper in the first plate appearance between the two. He sails a pitch up and away, 1 ball, no strikes. .1-0 pitch. Down low, 2 balls, no strikes against Lucas Bonham. 1 for 4 in the last meeting between these two teams. 1 for 3 yesterday and struck out once. Uper in front of his face, the 2-0 pitch. Misses for ball 3 against Lucas Bonham. Bonham, another really efficient hitter in the Bombers lineup, a .310 batting average. He's also driven in 4 runs, but there's nobody on, 2 outs, 3 balls and 1, no strikes in the top of the third. Uper gets set, the 3-0 pitch. Called ball for a 4-pitch walk to Lucas Bonham. Runner on first for the Bombers. This is Michael Rocha.
Definitely ever good to get a 4-pitch walk. It is the first walk on the day, though, and that means that it's been well over a game because Riptide didn't walk anybody yesterday.
They've done a nice job with the walks as of late. The pitch misses low. Nice block by McDonald. Holds the runner on first, Lucas Bonham.
Actually had 1 walk. It was Trey Seeley.
Had 2 against the Conejo Oaks, so that's back-to-back games with less than 2 walks issued for the Riptide, something that pitching coach Brian Evans gotta love. Down low, 2 balls and no strikes. The runner on first, Lucas Bonham. Michael Rocha, the batter. In his second game as a Bomber, Coach Ramos makes the first mound visit of the day for the Riptide. Entire infield comes in. Ramos taking care of the pitchers this weekend as head coach Brian Evans. Is out of town. 2 balls, no strikes, and 2 outs.
It was somewhat expected that Coach Ramos was going to come out at some point. Jonathan Van Ness warming up in the bullpen, and we knew that the pitch count was starting to raise a little bit more and more than head coach Ramos and Mayu said that they were hoping him to stay out there for.
2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs, top of the third. Riptide lead by 1. Bottom a lead over at first. The 2-0 pitch to Rocha, chopped foul along the third base side. .174 batting average at Southeast Missouri State this year. Had 1 home run for Michael Rocha. Also a two-way guy there. 2-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss from Michael Rocha. Evens up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and Casey Uper 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning.
It would be strikeout number 3 on the day for him.
Steps back on and stares in. The pitch. Couple hops to third. Evans goes to second. Gets the out there as Rosales hauls it in. Riptide head to the bottom of 3, looking to extend their 2-1 lead. Riptide lead 2-1. It's the bottom of the third inning, and we want to remind you that Experian is your BFF, your big financial friend. Big enough to have the resources and knowledge that have an impact, personal enough to help you with what's best for only you. No matter where you are in your financial journey, your big financial friend is a trustworthy companion by your side. Wherever you are in your financial journey, your big financial friend is ready to help you navigate the smartest way to reach all your personal financial goals with solutions you can trust. This is Experian, your big financial friend for life. For more information, go to Experian.com. Top of the lineup with Jake Evans leads things off for the Riptide. Off-speed misses high from Sanford, back out there after a 1-2-3 inning in the second. Evans singled in the first, came around to score 1 of 2 runs so far for the Riptide. The 1-0. Misses inside, 2 balls and no strikes against Jake Evans. Extended his on-base streak to 7 after that single in the first.
It was on the first pitch as well that he saw.
1 for 4 day yesterday, a run scored and also stole a base. 2-0. Misses high. So Sanford, 3 straight balls thrown to start this inning. A really good hitter in Jake Evans for the Riptide, a .500 on-base percentage. Sanford's 3-0. Misses high, a 4-pitch walk to Jake Evans, and he's aboard for the second time today.
Second walk of the game for the Bombers, and definitely don't want to keep that up because giving the free bases to the Riptide is not good, especially for such an aggressive team on the base path already.
Brings up Tyler Holland with no outs. Runner on first, Jake Evans. Holland was the first batter walk today for the Bombers in the first. He also came around to score. Sanford away for ball 1. Sanford came in relief of Brody Martin Gredzalonic. Had 2 strikeouts in the second inning. Sanford gets set in front of his belly button. A big breath, and the pitch misses high. 2 balls and no strikes against Tyler Holland.
6 balls now in a row. Start off this inning.
Holland on now a 5-game on-base streak for the Riptide. Batting 208. 2-0 pitch. Drops in for strike 1 from William Sanford. Sanford's record this year, 0-1. Started in 1 game. It was against the Foresters, an ERA of 27. Sanford checks on Evans at first, who slides back head first. No outs, runner on first, bottom of the 3rd, 2-1 count. Tyler Holland, the batter, starting at shortstop today for Orange County. Sanford sent back foul by Tyler Holland over the press box. Holland steps out and back in as he adjusts his hat and now taps the plate 1 time and waits the 2-2 pitch from William Sanford. That's a sign he likes from Griffin Zitko behind the dish. 2-2. Misses high, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The second at bat in a row for Tyler Holland, where he's faced a full count. Jake Evans over there on first. He was walked to start this inning off. Payoff pitch. Lifted foul on the right side. Holland looking to advance the runners. That's Jake Evans on first. 3-2 count, no outs, runner on first. Sanford. That's at the pitch. Misses high, back-to-back walks issued from William Sanford. Runners on first and second for the Riptide. Walk number 3 issued today from San Diego, and that prompts a mound visit.
I think that's definitely a smart mound visit. 2 walks in a row is definitely not good, especially the top of the order. Obviously would rather him either get out, definitely not get a hit though. And Carter Dan's coming up, a guy who's been batting pretty strong as of recently. Kind of started off not necessarily, or I guess that first game that he was in started off very hot because he went down 0-2 in the count and then came back 3-2 in the bottom of the 10th, worked a hit, and then ended up being the tying run against the Marlins in that game.
That was the walk-off win off the Justin Tiller hit. Riptide 6-6 in CCL play. The Bombers 2-5. As it stands at the moment, the Riptide 4th in the CCL South, 4.5 games back. But with the results today around the league, that should change. Low outside corner for strike 1 from Sanford against Carter Dans, who struck out in the first. Holland on first, Evans on second. Carter Dans, the tall left-handed batter. Down low from Sanford. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's all really interesting because the Barons beat the Blues 20-4. And then the Blues today beat the Foresters 5-2. So just kind of a toss-up right now, early middle season.
1-1, hammered back foul, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And yeah, the slow Blues lost to the Barons 20-4. They come into Orange County, get the win last night, and they beat the #1 team in the CCL South. So 2 big bounce-back games for them.
Just shows that any team, if they play their best, can win easily.
Riptide looking for their 7th win in CCL play. 2 runners on, 1-2. Check swing, and Andrew Thomas says he went around. Strikeout number 5 for the Bombers, and down goes Carter Dans. Back-to-back strikeouts for him.
Definitely not what he was looking for, but if you're Sanford, that's exactly what you're looking for. Bounce it back after 2 straight walks. Now double play ball gets you out of this inning.
Grant MacArthur, that big hit in the first inning that scored Jake Evans. And Sanford sends strike 1 in there. MacArthur played at UConn this year, a really good power hitter, had 9 home runs, looking for his first of the summer. Holland on first, Evans on second. There's 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd. Up and in as MacArthur leans back.
We were talking about it before the game. He's one of the sneaky guys on this lineup that we didn't really fully realize had the line that he does, batting .368 and a .523 on base percentage. Just finds ways to get it done.
The season had 3 hits against the Academy Barons last week on Sunday. Sanford looks at second, fires a fastball that misses low and in. 2 balls and 1 strike against MacArthur. Gets the start at first base today. Andrew just brought up his line, and it's impressive so far. One of the best on the rosters.
7 runs and 4 RBIs as well.
Curveball, strike 2 to Grant MacArthur. At UConn this past year, he played 43 games, started 41 of them, at .306, had 40 RBIs. Spent some time at the JUCO level before going to the Huskies at UConn. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 6 today for the Bombers. It's back-to-back now for William Sanford.
And that's how you bounce back, and that's just an absolutely perfect mound visit from Scott Stanley. Just calms his pitcher down and able to get some more outs out of him.
Henry McDonald had that sac fly in the first that scored Tyler Holland. With 2 outs, 2 runners on. Looking to do some more damage for the Riptide, who try to extend their 2-1 lead. Low end, way outside from William Sanford, 1-0 against Henry McDonald, the catcher. Second game as a Riptide, finishing his true freshman season at Cal Poly. Evans on second, Holland on first, the 1-0. Foul tapped into the glove of Zitka. 1 ball and 1 strike, 2 outs.
You say Cal Poly, it's kind of funny that he also went to high school at a school called Poly in South Pasadena as well.
4-year letterman there, 3-year team captain, really good high school baseball player. He taps 1 back, foul, 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's also a really good quarterback in high school. An athletic guy at the plate for the Riptide here in Henry McDonald. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. It's the bottom of the 3rd. Riptide lead 2-1. The flags in center field are now kind of blowing straight back. Started the game blowing towards right field. Sanford gets set. A look at second. Heaves it home and gets McDonald fishing for his 3rd strikeout of the inning. Top of the 4th coming up next. The Bombers looking to respond after trailing 2-1. Back from Irvine, top of the 4th inning, the Bombers gonna tie this ball game up. Riptide a 2-1 lead. New pitcher Jonathan Van Ness for Orange County, making his 3rd appearance this summer. Coming in relief after Casey Uper went 3 innings, gave up 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Van Ness, the sophomore right-handed pitcher out of Belmont University, a sub-2 ERA in his first 2 appearances this summer for the Riptide. Both of them starts. First pitch to Jeremy Jones is low. 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, the last time we saw him was in the home game against the Saints, which the Riptide certainly won with a little bit of ease. It was a 9-4 ball game. 3 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts as well.
Off speed, gets the edge of the zone for strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike against Jeremy Jones, the left-handed batter. Van Ness, like Andrew said, pitched against Arroyo Seco, and his other start came against the Waves. And Jeremy Jones waves and misses through that one from Van Ness. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Against the Waves, went 3 innings, gave up 1 earned run. Home plate umpire Tony Marcosha calls time. Echoes a couple words to Van Ness. And Jeremy Jones steps back in the left-handed batter's box. The 1-2 pitch. Down low from Van Ness. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gave up 4 hits against the Waves and walked 1. Also had 3 strikeouts for Jonathan Van Ness. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Number 3 today for the Riptide. Number 1 for Van Ness.
That's how you want to start an outing if you are Van Ness. Doesn't matter if you're starting, relieving, any of it. Getting the strikeout is huge.
1 out top of the 4th. Riptide clinging to a 1-run lead over the Bombers as Kyle Becker, the designated hitter, steps in. Taps one that goes foul on the right side. It lands, and a couple Little Leaguers try to chase it down for free candy at Great Park. 4-pitch mix. Got the curveball, 2 balls, no balls, and 2 strikes against Kyle Becker. It's a fastball, curveball, changeup, and slider for Van Ness. 0-2, a 3-pitch strikeout after Kyle Becker waves and tips it into the glove of McDonald. Back-to-back Ks from Van Ness, and 2 outs in the top of the 4th.
Continues to keep things working, and the trend that the Riptide pitchers, relievers, have been really strong for the team.
James Derflinger, righty, steps in, starting in left field. Flew out to center field back in the 2nd, and fishes through a breaking ball for strike 1 from Van Ness. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, nobody on. It's the top of the 4th. Riptide a 2-1 lead. Van Ness's pitch drops in for strike 2, and what a curveball from Van Ness.
That was absolutely disgusting. As soon as that ball came out of his hand, you saw that thing dropping like crazy.
Derfling, or 0-2 pitch. It's grounded foul on the right side by James Derflinger.
I think 0-2 here, if you're Van Ness, you can go and spike a curveball, especially after that one to get to 0-2.
Derflinger's been pretty good for the Bombers this year, batting .286. Had his 3-game hit streak snapped yesterday against Santa Barbara. Came in late in the game. The pinch hit was 0 for 1, struck out. Van Ness, 0-2. Bounces with about a feet in front of home plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes against James Derflinger.
That was the spiked curveball that I was looking for. Maybe a little farther than that. I'm sure that was the goal for Van Ness.
Derflinger steps out and now back in. Van Ness looking for strikeout number 5 and gets it right here. A 1-2. Not a strikeout from Jonathan Van Ness.
I thought it was
I
also.
did too.
I don't know exactly what just happened. Maybe a check swing didn't go.
Well, it's a 1-2 strikes count. The pitch. Chop to third and fouled.
I'm still a little confused.
I was ready to make the 3rd strikeout of the inning call, and guess it's not. Looking for it right here. 1-2 count. Jonathan Van Ness against James Derflinger. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Dropped by McDonald. Gets the out at first to MacArthur. There's that strikeout. 3 Ks in the 4th for Van Ness. And we go to the home half of this inning. Riptide leading 2-1. Bottom of the 4th inning, Riptide lead 2-1. Reed Montgomery to start. Sanford back out there. A little outside corner of the zone for strike 1. Sanford back-to-back-to-back Ks to end the 3rd, all of them swinging. 0-1 to Montgomery. Foul tap. 0-2 the count.
That was after 2 walks in a row. So definitely bounced back really well.
Montgomery struck out in the 1st. That was against Martin Grudzalonic. The 0-2. Tapped back foul by Reed Montgomery. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody on. It's the bottom of the 4th. The Riptide hold a 1-run lead over the San Diego Bombers. Montgomery steps back in and now waves the bat next to his left ear, awaiting the 0-2 from Sanford. Here it is. Called strike 3, freezes him up. Montgomery didn't agree with the call. It's the 8th strikeout from the Bombers today. The 4th in a row by William Sanford.
Just a good pitch there. Nothing really that Montgomery could do was kind of set up on that outside heater. It was tunneled really well and placed in a great spot.
And Luke Johnson lined to second back in the second inning. And misses in the opposite batter's box is William Sanford. You talked about it, Andrew. Gave up 2 walks to start the third, but since then has looked terrific.
That was all after mound visit as well.
1-0. Swing and a miss from Luke Johnson. Johnson leads the team in strikeouts, has 9 of them this year. Looking to avoid being victim number 9 to the Bombers today through 4 innings. 1-1. Soft grounder to short. Williams has it. Throw on time to Mullen at first. Retires Luke Johnson, and Jack Salmon steps up with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th.
It's been 12 batters now since the Riptide were able to get it hit, all the way back to Grant MacArthur in the first inning.
Salmon struck out in the second inning, a backwards K. Looking to get aboard with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Riptide lead 2-1 over the San Diego Bombers. Sanford in there for strike 1. The Bombers have 2 wins this summer. One of them was against the Riptide on opening day. They beat them 7-3, then went on a 4-game skid afterwards. They currently sit 5th in the CCL South, 6 games back. 0-1 down and in towards the feet of Jack Salmon. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Salmon on a 4-game on-base streak, .210 average. Holding that torpedo bat like Andrew talked about. 1-1 count coming up from Sanford. The pitch misses low. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Jack Salmon actually showed me that torpedo bat, and it's cool to see up close. It has his name engraved in it, and it's an interesting piece of wood that he's holding.
It really is. It was the first time in person that I'd ever seen one, and I was like, wow, that's a lot different than a normal bat.
Waves next to his left ear at the moment. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 2-2 the count against Jack Salmon, starting in right field today for the Riptide. In his last 2 outings, 0 for 4 against the Nighthawks and 0 for 1 against Conejo on Friday. Scored a run in both of those games though. Up and away from Sanford. Full count against Jack Salmon. Looking to get aboard, extend that on-base streak to 5 games. Riptide have 2 hits and 2 runs. Bombers also 2 hits, but 1 run. 3-2. Up and away, got by the glove of Zitko, but it doesn't matter. Ball 4. Jack Salmon reaches first. The 4th walk issued by the Bombers. Before Jack Salmon, that was 5 consecutive batters retired for William Sanford for issuing the walk to Jack Salmon, who now has reached on 5 consecutive games. Marco Rosales, curveball low. 1-0 the count. That's the second baseman for the Riptide. Sanford gets set in front of the chest. The 1-0 off the end of the bat from Rosales and back foul.
No, Sanford been pitching pretty well. Has 3 walks, hasn't allowed a hit so far. Colton Dahl is warming up, right-handed pitcher out there.
Sanford looking for that 3rd and final out of the bottom of the 4th. And bring the Bombers' bats back up. Pickoff attempt to first. Gets by the first baseman. Salmon takes off for second and reaches. So runner in scoring position for Marco Rosales. Jack Salmon reached on a walk and now takes second base.
That's the aggressive base running that the Riptide have become famous for so far this year. A ball that barely squeaks away from Mullen, and he just takes off. Such a quick decision also to see that ball. It barely rolls into the outfield. He's like, I'm going.
He's on second as the wind starts to pick up again. Flags blowing towards right field for Marco Rosales, a right-handed batter. Pitch misses high, 2 balls and 1 strike. Riptide playing the San Diego Bombers today. They'll have the Waves on Tuesday before a couple road games against the Barons, Slow, and Conejo next week. Sanford looks at second, the 2-1. Popped up foul on the right side.
Even though there's a runner in scoring position, still 2 outs, so easily can get out of this inning with 1 pitch. Or just anything in the infield, really. Doesn't even have to worry about Salmon.
Salmon is on second. Marco Rosales is the batter. Struck out in the second. 2-2. Outside, nice catch by Zitko. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count for Rosales.
Doesn't want to walk Rosales at all. That brings up the top of the order in it. Jake Evans, who so far today 1 for 1 and a walk as well.
Tops the plate and now waves the batter around, waiting the payoff pitch from William Sanford. A look at second, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 9. A big strikeout from William Sanford. Strands Salmon on second base. And we head to the top of 5. Riptide leading 2-1. Top of the 5th inning, the Riptide lead 2-1 over the San Diego Bombers. Jonathan Van Ness is back out there for the Riptide, facing Jack Mullen. It's the inside half of the zone for strike 1. 0-1, the count against Jack Mullen. Grounded to short in the 2nd inning. Gonna get his summer going after starting 091 through 5 games. Towering pop-up behind the dish, giving it Chase McDonald, but he stares as it bounces in the stands. Quickly ahead in the count, Jonathan Van Ness, 0-2. A 1-2-3 inning in the 4th, all down by way of the K for Jonathan Van Ness. Mullen looking to snap his 10-game at-bat streak without a hit. as he tight ropes one foul along the first base side. Call is made by James Smith that it's foul. Colton Dahl gets warm for the Bombers in the bullpen. No balls, 2 strikes, no outs, nobody on. Top of the 5th inning from Irvine. Riptide leading 2-1 against the San Diego Bombers. 0-2. Bloop towards third. A short hop for Evans, and he makes the grab.
That's now 15 batters straight that have not gotten a hit. The only 2 hits so far in this game for the Bombers are coming from Williams and Fishbow, the first and second batters of the game.
Nice job by the Riptide pitching staff to settle in. They've been really good as of late. 16 strikeouts on Friday, had 14 yesterday. Right down the heart of the plate for strike 1 from Van Ness. 0-1 against Griffin Zitko. Struck out looking in the second. Pitch misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike against Griffin Zitko. Now hitless in his last 8 at-bats. Zitko in the transfer portal after spending the past 3 seasons at Cal Lutheran. 1-1. Misses high from Van Ness. 2-1 count for Zitko.
Maybe all it takes for him is switching his number. Normally 25, today wearing 50.
2-1 from Van Ness. And curveball in there for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Van Ness. And you mentioned 15 consecutive retired batters. Looking for 16 with Zitko, but Thomas Williams is warming up in the on-deck circle, the leadoff guy. 2-2. Sent back foul by Zitko. Redo things at 2-2.
I'm expecting another curveball here from Van Ness. It's what he's gone to so far. Even though he's had all of his strikeouts via the changeup so far, the curveball has been looking really good.
See if he goes to it as he steps on the mound. Oh, the black glove in front of his chest as he gets set. 2-2. Bounces low. Full count against Griffin Zitko, looking to get aboard for the first time today. Mullen started this inning off. He lined to third base. It's a full count with nobody on, 1 away in the top of the 5th. Van Ness, the pitch. Called strike 3, number 6 today for the Riptide. Van Ness continues to have a solid outing.
There's the curveball. We knew it was very likely coming as he had a really good curveball there. And also looking back, Zitko struck out looking via the curveball in inning number 2 as well.
2 strikeouts on the day for Zitko. Top of the lineup with Thomas Williams. Low inside corner, strike 1 from Van Ness. Williams a switch hitter. We've seen him bat right-handed, now has switched to the left-handed batter's box. The 0-1 from Van Ness. High bounce foul towards the Bombers' dugout. 0-2 the count against Thomas Williams from UTRGV. Had 9 home runs for the Vaqueros in their breakout season. 2 big ones in the Baylor game for Williams. No balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. In the dirt and rolls back as the bat boy retrieves the foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Van Ness looking for that last one to get out of this inning. He gets set, the 1-2. In the dirt, about a couple feet in front of home. Evens up the count, 2-2.
So far, there's yet to be a strikeout on a fastball. 3 of them have come from curveballs, 2 of which from Uper. And then Van Ness has 4 strikeouts, 3 via the change and 1 via curveball.
The 2-2. Low once again. Full count against Thomas Williams. Had a hit in the first, looking for his 3rd multi-hit game here. Making his 8th start. For home run number 1 if he can get it. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Van Ness, the payoff pitch. Fly ball towards shallow center field. The shortstop, Holland, makes the grab. The second 1-2-3 inning from Jonathan Van Ness. We go to the bottom of 5. Riptide lead 2-1, and Andrew Giesler takes over coming up next.
Welcome back, home half of the 5th inning. Andrew Giesler alongside Aidan, Pham. Colton Dahl now out on the mound for the Bombers against the leadoff man and Jake Evans. He's the righty. Behind him will be Tyler Holland and then Carter Dance. First pitch to get things going, curveball that bounces in the lefty box for ball number 1. Current score 2-1. Riptide is leading. Both teams have only come across in the first inning, but we're all the way in the bottom of 5. 1-0 chopped out toward third. Roca gets it on a 1-hop and throws over to Mullen for out number 1. A quick one for Colton Dahl.
Final line on Sanford went 3 innings, walked 3, but had 7 strikeouts.
Very good for Sanford. He started off with 2 straight walks and then struck out 4 in a row. And then finished his day off with a strikeout. And now it's Colton Dahl's time. He'll work now against Tyler Holland. First pitch, Luke B. Slider finds the outside corner for strike number 1. So, on the righty. 2 walks so far today. Came across the score on one of them. Takes a big swing and miss at the curveball in the dirt. So an 0-2 count. Dahl looking for his first strikeout of the day. The Bombers have 9 strikeouts already here in the bottom of the 5th. Been doing well against these Riptide pitchers. 0-2 jammed inside, hit out towards center field. Tracking his fishbow, and a light jog to catch that one for out number 2 of this bottom of the 5th inning. Dahl being very efficient to start.
2 quick outs, and it's against the top of the lineup with Jake Evans and Tyler Holland.
So now it'll be Carter Dance coming up to the plate. Struck out twice so far. First one was a cutter, and the second one was a changeup that he didn't like all that much. Both of them were looking to change things up here. Yesterday went 2 for 4. Trying to keep this 5-game on-base streak alive. First pitch misses low in the zone. So a little bit of a pitcher's duel as we start to go on into this game. 3 runs scored between the two teams in the first, and nothing since. Very similar pitch. Misses low for ball number 2. Dan so far batting .304 this year, .333 on base percentage. Looking to do that for the first time today. As the 2-0 is spiked on the inside of the part of the plate. Hits Tony Marcusha in the knee. He's all right, though. He has shin pads, too. Dahl set with the black glove over his eyes. 3-0. Right down the middle. Stop sign on for Carter Dans. So now he'll be free to swing with the advantage pitch. 3-1 count. Dahl kicks, fires. Another one, top of the zone. And Dans thought he walked there, but turns out not. Ball was caught in the top part of the zone. Dahl already ready to go as Dans finally gets in. 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom 5, it's 2-1. Payoff pitch. Fouled out toward the left side. Straight over the Riptide dugout and bullpen. Not a lot of theatrics going on in the Riptide bullpen just yet. Relatively quick game so far, so everyone's kind of sat down. 3-2. Curveball, this one not called for strike 3, so this time Carter Dans, when he throws the bat, he'll be able to go over to first base. And that's walk number 5 on the day for the Bombers pitchers. It'll be Grant MacArthur coming up.
Carter Dans, after striking out in his first 2 at-bats today, finally gets a board. Sets up a really good hitter in Grant MacArthur for the Riptide.
So Dans takes a 3-step lead at first. MacArthur watches the first one on the outside part of the plate. He doesn't like the call, but it was a strike. 0-1 with 2 outs, man on first. It is 2-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Riptide leading. Bombers pitcher Dahl sets the belt. 0-1 fouled back straight over our heads and toward the parking lot. So it'll be an 0-2 count for Colton Dahl, looking on toward Grant MacArthur. Singled back in the first. That was an RBI single. And then struck out in his last at-bat due to a fastball. We'll see if Colton Dahl or what he has planned for MacArthur. But fires one toward his own bullpen, and it will be a little bit of an error there as Dans will run over to second. Just a tough pickoff move. Feet weren't fully set down on the ground by the time he threw that ball, so tough play with the shoulders still moving.
Miscue from Dahl, and runner in scoring position for Grant MacArthur.
Still no 2 count, though, for Dahl with 2 outs, so focus on MacArthur. 0-2. Slider misses on the outside part of the plate. It'll be a 1-2 count now. Definitely a good pitch, one that he's set up well with that fastball on the outside. So trying to get the trigger from MacArthur. Didn't get it. Maybe he will this time. 1-2. Hit out toward the Judge Brewery Cantina and catches the netting. So it's a 1-2 count with 2 outs and a man on second and Carter Dans. He reached via a walk. That was his first time on base today. Extends his on-base streak to 6 games now. He's dancing around at second. Dahl fires to MacArthur in the lefty box. So 2-2 count now. Two outs, man on second. Make sure to stay tuned with us for this 6th inning upcoming. We got Jimmy Zakar coming up here. We'll do a food review. Not 100% sure what we got just yet. But Dahl 2-2. Misses on the outside. So goes up 0-2, and now MacArthur has battled back to a full count with Dans on second. Our Riptide would love another run. It is 2-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Payoff pitch. Called strike 3. MacArthur absolutely hates it. Throws his bat because he thought he was walked, and MacArthur's gone. He is tossed out of the game, and we were waiting for that to happen. Tony Marcusha now talking with Grant Mayu, who's all in his face. We could get a 2-for-1 special here.
Grant MacArthur very frustrated with the strikeout call, had some words for the home plate umpire, Tony Marcosha, and was enough to get him thrown out of this game. And Grant Mayu, the interim head coach, now some words for Marcosha.
So after a little bit of extracurricular activity, we'll head to the top of the 6th inning. We'll let you know if anything further happens with Grant Mayu. When we come back, it's 2-1, Riptide leading. And welcome back, top of the 6th inning. Aidan, Pham, Andrew Giesler, and Jimmy Zakar.
What's going on, guys? How we doing?
So another great day to have someone in the booth. We have a whole lot of things that happened just now while you were walking up. I don't know how much of it you saw, but MacArthur got tossed. I think you saw that part.
I didn't see that part. I saw Coach Grant get tossed.
Oh, okay. So they both got tossed.
Yeah, both of them got tossed. I don't know what for, but
well, a whole lot of arguing, but quickly let's introduce the lineup coming up, and then we'll get back to that. It's Dylan Fishbow at the plate, and then Lucas Bonham and Michael Rocha. So 3 righties in a row against Van Ness, who's back out there. Looks like Colby Moran, I'm pretty sure, at first now. So whole bunch of people tossed. First, I got to ask, have you ever been tossed in a game?
I have, yeah. It was my senior year of high school. It was actually Coach Ashback's 600th win.
Yeah.
And some words were exchanged with the umpire, and I was tossed. Yeah. First time. First and only time. I'll put it that way. First and only time.
And we won't be tossed again?
No, hopefully not.
Never
hopefully
again.
Not.
There you go. So a little bit of changes as the extracurricular activity kind of changed up what will happen in this game. The dugout was kind of fired up, though, that Mayu got in the face of the home plate umpire. It is Colby Moran.
It's always good to see your coach kind of get into it with the umpire, especially after a bad call. I mean, there's been a couple calls where it's been missed, and Coach Evans has gotten in the umpire's face, which is always good to see. Coaches backing their guys up, and always like having their backs when their backs are against the wall.
3-1. Misses on the outside part of the plate. So it will be a man on first now in Dylan Fishbow. As that one looked like maybe caught the outside part, but a little bit hard to see from up here. It'll be Lucas Bonham that's coming up to the plate now in a righty. So we do have a food review. We got some stuff
All
here
right.
for us.
All right.
We have classic combos, right? Surf and turf,
Okay.
PB&J, bacon and eggs. I want to introduce to you brisket and chocolate chip cookies.
I've never heard of that combo before. But,
Me neither, but we're going with it today.
Let's get into it.
First pitch.
Well, what do you go with first, though? Like, are you a cookie guy first, then the meat, or what are we doing?
I have no clue what to do right now.
Probably sweets. I always go with a little
I think you got to go
popsicle.
sweet first.
You
yeah.
go sweet
Yeah,
first?
Yeah.
I feel like we got to go sweet first here.
All right, so we're going to go. You can grab a
Oh,
cookie.
I'm going first?
Oh, well, you gotta. This ball is hit out towards short. Holland moves over. Jump throw over to second to Rosales. He throws on to MacArthur. Only gets one at second. Gets the force out, but a great play from Holland out
Great
there.
play from Holland. It's good to see him playing free. Good to see him playing loose.
As him and Kenneth Sauce have kind of been trading off at the shortstop position. We saw a little bit of different look with Sauce at one point playing third, and then Evans over at second. Everyone kind of flip-flopping
Yeah.
around, a little bit of musical chairs. As new hitter in Michael Rocha coming up to the plate with Bonham on first. All right, let's get back to the cookies.
All right, let's do this.
This is
Let's try him.
And if I could make a recommendation, you take small bites. if
Small
you're on-
bites.
Small bites.
Got
Mhm.
it. Got it. Got it.
we had an issue with Brisket over here where he took a massive bite and then was asked a question. So we're small bites the goal.
Small bites. Here we go.
Oh, no. Ball's hit to third. Evans throws on to Rosales at second, throws on to first. It is a double play. So that ends the top of the sixth, 2-1. We'll get back to the cookie review when we get back. Bottom of sixth. And welcome back. Bottom of the sixth, 2-1 Riptide leading. We got cut off from our cookie review. Aidan, Pham, Andrew, Giesler, Jimmy Zakar here. So let's get into the cookie as Henry McDonald coming up against Colton Dahl. Let's get back to it.
All right,
I
let's
know
do
we all
this.
took
All right,
bites,
let's
but
try.
we got another bite here. Curveball hits outside.
That's a good cookie.
Very good cookie.
It is. I like the little sea salt on top.
Yeah.
Adds a good little twang to it, if that's a word you can use.
No, absolutely.
I don't know if that's the right
Absolutely
word
it
to
is.
use, but
Crumbly, it's nice. And then we've reviewed it before, but I think we got brisket here, right? Aidan?
Brisket, yeah.
So
all right.
there is no cutting this. It's just a massive piece of brisket that we just got to go for. I don't know. We have
Gotta
napkins
think
for
gotta
you.
Think about how I attack this.
We have napkins for you, so we know we don't want to get the uniform dirty. I have no clue how to attack this. I'm going to be completely honest. Hit out toward left field, straight at Derflinger. Makes 2 steps backwards for out number 1. So Montgomery will come up to the plate now. He's struck out twice today, looking to change that fate and get back on the board for the Riptide. Let's get to the brisket. Do you have a knife, theoretically, if you want to use it? No, I think we're already into it.
We're already too far.
Oh, you're going barbecue sauce also. Okay,
Oh,
here we
we're
go.
not doing that?
You've done it. You've already done it.
All right, I jumped the gun and I took a bite. But that's a good brisket. I feel like you can't mess it up. Pear Tree Meats comes through once again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a pretty good bite of brisket.
I went for a second one as the 1-0 in the dirt. We had Zach Crandall up here yesterday, which was kind of funny because he had a whole plate as Montgomery wears that one off the calf. It'll be a hit by pitch. He goes over to first. He was saying it was more funny because we were talking. We were like, okay, hypothetically, before a game, are you trying to like eat a lot or you try to eat a little? And he's like, no, I like to load up. And then he gets a whole plate and kind of pinch hits in the ninth, which was kind of funny. But he was saying he likes the brisket, not necessarily the shredded meat. He likes cut. What's your kind of? What do you think?
Regarding like the cut of meat,
He
or
said
like
he said, ooh, ball up and in now. It goes to the backstop. Montgomery still trying to put on the sliding protector. Goes over to third on the wild pitch. He was saying he doesn't like. He still liked it, the pulled pork, the shredded, that sort of stuff, compared to just sliced. Or you don't care.
I like the sliced, just because it shows the sign of a good brisket. You
There
can
you go.
see the smoke ring around it. You can see like what the time and effort that it takes to go into a good brisket.
It's really good, and it's here, I think, every single game.
It is, yeah.
Has been every single game.
It is. It's
so
tough
far.
to sit in that dugout and not go up there every single day and get a giant plate of brisket. It's tough. It's tough.
Another one inside. This one hits Johnson up in the tricep. So Johnson gets hit another time this season. Feels like he's gotten hit quite a bit so far. He has. That's his 6th hit by pitch so far this year. So he'll go over to first, and 2 straight hit by pitches from Dahl. He'll get a mound meeting from Zitko. So hypothetically, your pitcher hits 2 batters in a row or walks someone. You're going to go out there as a catcher. What's the conversation like?
Conversation isn't anywhere remotely close to baseball. As much as I want to say that it is, I try to keep the pitcher's mind off of things, try to keep it loose, try to keep it fun. Ask them what they had for breakfast, ask them just kind of like keep their mind off of baseball for that time being and try not to let them focus on or reminisce in what just happened. Try to keep it fun and loose. Questions could range from anywhere from what'd you have for breakfast or I mean anything. It could be any sort of question. Just trying to keep it fun and loose and light. And again, it's summer ball, it's baseball. You're supposed to have fun. You're supposed to have fun with it. So yeah, I think it's just trying to keep his mind off of it.
And going off of that, like I feel like every guy I've spoken to has a rave review about you. So like, what's it been like just with the Riptide this summer in that dugout?
Oh, it's great. I mean, it's always fun. I mean, summer ball's fun. It's supposed to be fun. It's a kids' game that us adults are playing, and everybody's just got to remember that everybody makes mistakes. That was not a reference to the song, but everybody makes mistakes and everybody has bad days. But you know, it's supposed to be a fun sport and it's supposed to be enjoyable for everybody. And you especially in summer ball, it's fun. It's fun to be out on the field. It's fun to chirp guys. It's fun to I chirp my own guys sometimes. You gotta keep it loose and fun. So I think that's the biggest thing. And yeah. I mean, you got to have fun with everybody. Mm-hmm. It's fun being a catcher because you're hanging out with the position players,
right,
and you get to talk with the pitchers as well. So I think that's probably one of my favorite parts of being a catcher.
We know the bullpen likes to have fun. They're always doing stuff. We look over there no matter what the score is and something's going on. We haven't seen a whole lot of festivities today. We had like 20 innings some of cap baseball the other day.
We did do that. That was fun. It's fun to watch. I don't partake in any of it, but it's a good time to watch and see everybody smiling and laughing down there.
As it's Rosales up to the plate, righty box, in on first and third, 2 outs. 1-1 misses outside for Dahl.
Who's a funny guy in the dugout or the bullpen that you enjoy hanging out with?
I'd probably say, the guy who I hang out with most is Tommy. I think we give off like the same vibe, just kind of having fun with it, just enjoying our time out here. Because Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be fun. Tommy, Hellman, another guy is Luke Johnson.
Yeah.
I've known him since we were young. I've played Little League with him, so it's good. It's good to finally play baseball with him again.
3-1. Hit right back into the middle, off the glove of Dahl. He'll flip on to first for out number 3 of this 6th inning. And that's a little sad because that means it's time for Jimmy to go back down to the dugout. But, man, did we have a good time up here. You're going to have to come back, and we'll do another food review at some point. Riptide lead 2-1. We head to top of 7. Welcome back, top of 7, as Tatch will come out onto the mound for the Riptide and face Jeremy Jones, Kyle Becker, and James Durf playing our first pitch. Misses outside. It'll be a 1-0 count. As we thank Jimmy Zakar one more time for coming up here and talking with us with the brisket and cookies review. I don't know if it's going to go down with the likes of Surf and Turf and PB&J and bacon and eggs, but it was still a good combo.
It was a good combo. I mean, the cookie is my favorite. The brisket was also pretty good, but, man, we got to do more of these food segments because each time we're just getting lucky up here.
Foul ball out toward the left. It'll be a 2-1 count. Yeah, always comes right when we're starting to get hungry also, which is nice. But today, a little bit different. We're going to have to start trying out combos as we're starting to run out of things really that are new. But I'm sure we can figure things out. We're only 20 days into summer. This one, 2-1, hit out toward left field. Johnson moves over to his left, comes back to his right, and catches for out number 1 in this top of the 7th.
We had Jimmy in, so it was kind of overshadowed, but Grant MacArthur obviously tossed head coach, or interim head coach, Grant Mayu, stood up for his guy. He was also tossed, so it looks like Andrew Ramos is going to be at the helm for the rest of the game for the Riptide, and Moran obviously in place of MacArthur at first.
So Tatch, one batter faced, one batter out. Looks on toward Kyle Becker now, the DH who struck out twice. 0-0 misses outside. So Becker batting 167, has 2 RBIs. Looks on toward Tatch. 1-0 also misses outside. 2-0 now. Against the Riptide, he's 1 for 5 with 2 walks, a single, and a run that he came across. Tatch sets the belt, nods, and the 2-0. Foul directly back. So 1 out, nobody on. Neither teams have scored in quite a bit of time. We're in the top of the 7th. Last time that either team has scored was in the bottom of the 1st. That was the Riptide. They brought across 2, and that's the score that we're at right now, 2-1. 2 hits for both teams. Bombers have 2 errors, though. 2-1. Misses high and outside. Donald says, hey, we're good. Bring it down lower. It was a good pitch, but just missed up high.
Brandon Tatch in the game for Van Ness and Uper, who both had solid outings. He's looking to continue that here.
Advantage pitch toward Becker. Misses high and outside. So 5-pitch walk, and it will now be a man on first with 1 out. James Derflinger coming up to the plate, looking to get his first hit in the first time on base so far in this game. Walk number 2 so far for the Riptide pitchers.
For the Tigers, number 1, James Dribbling.
It was unfortunate that it was such a quick 6th inning because Jimmy's a really, really funny guy. We were just getting things started.
We've got to come back with the part 2 because, like you said, he's a funny guy. The team loves him. Usually when we have the guys up here, it's a super long inning, but just not the case today.
I mean, Crandall, that 6th inning took forever. He was in here for a while. We felt bad, but looked like he was having fun. Certainly a lot of food for him. First pitch, looking to lay down a bunt, as throwing back to first was McDonald, trying to pick off Becker to Moran. Wasn't able to do so. Pitch was called for a strike, though, so it's an 0-1 count.
You give up the walk to Kyle Becker, and love for Brendan Tatch to come back with a strikeout here. Just 2 outs to get out of this inning.
Either that or turn to double play, either or. I'm sure Tatch isn't too picky. 0-1. We're going to lay down a bunt yet again is Derflinger. Pulls it back this time just in time, so it's a 1-1 count with 1 out. Number 1 is at bat. That is James Derflinger. He's still looking for his first hit against the Riptide this season. He is 0 for 5 with a walk, a hit by pitch, and came around to score in one of those on-base appearances. Becker takes about a 3-step lead off of first. Tatch will set at the belt. Closed pitching stance, first base side of the rubber. 1-1. Bunt not laid down yet again. Misses outside.
You talked about it. The offense has stalled for both teams now with a runner on. The Bombers looking to take advantage, tie this game up.
Neither team's gotten a hit either since that first inning. Handful of walks here and there, not too many. 2-1. Bunt popped up, back against the screen. So a 2-2 count now. Derflinger's going to be forced to swing away. Bullpen's looking pretty empty right now. As Tatch came in for Van Ness. He went 3 innings of works and went 1, 2, 3 in each of them. In the 6th, let up a walk though. But able to turn 2 and get that inning over with. Tatch sets. And the 2-2. In the dirt, McDonald blocks it down in front of him. So it'll be a full count now.
Derflinger has been a big part of the lineup for the Bombers all summer long, but he's been held hitless today, looking to get that changed here.
Batting .286. Doesn't have an RBI, though, which is pretty interesting for a guy that hits pretty well. Payoff pitch. Inside, it gets him on the arm, so a hit by pitch. And it'll be a man on first and second now for the Bombers. The first offense that we've seen in quite a bit of time.
Runners on first and second, like you talked about. The bottom of the lineup coming up. Jack Mullen and Griffin Zitko. Jack Mullen, the guy they're looking to get started this summer after not the start he would have liked for sure.
So normally we would see Mullen, but looks like instead it's going to be Jang coming into the box. Righty out of NYU from Seoul. So first time we've seen a pinch hitter for the Bombers. The only reason that we've seen a replacement for the Riptide is because MacArthur got thrown earlier in the game. First pitch fouled back off the glove of McDonald. We'll throw a ball over to Tatch, and it'll be an 0-1 count toward Jang.
And Jang playing in his third game for the Bombers, has recorded hits in both of his first 2 games, both of them against the Barons.
So Derflinger takes his lead off of first. Becker takes his secondary lead off of second. Tatch fires one in there, so it'll be an 0-2 count now with 1 out and a man on first and second. Riptide leading by 1. It is 2-1 in the top of the 7th inning. First bit of offense we've seen from the Bombers in a very long time. First person in scoring position since the first inning. Tatch sets, 0-2. Curveball, got him looking. Rings him up on the freeze breaking ball on the inside part of the plate. It'll be a strikeout for Tatch, his first of the day, and the 7th for the Riptide pitchers.
Good job by Brandon Tatch after you walk a batter and hit one with runners on first and second to get the strikeout. Just 1 out away here.
1 out away from getting out of the top of 7 and giving us some time to stretch. As the first pitch to Zitko is in there for a strike. Zitko today struck out twice, both to the curveball. One of them was to Uper, the starting pitcher for the Riptide. The other one to Jonathan Van Ness. 0-1 golfed out towards second base. A tough read for Rosales. It'll slowly wind into right field. Coming up, throwing to home is Salmon, but it is not in time. And Becker will score from second and tie this game up at 2. That ball barely hit out there to right field. And with Salmon playing back a little bit, it was a tough throw to get it through all the way to home. So Derflinger will be on third. Zitko now stands on first after his RBI 2-out single.
And Marco Rosales at second was playing closer to the bag. It was softly hit, but in the sweet spot, and the Bombers tie this game up.
Tatch's first pitch to Williams is in there for strike number 1. So it'll be 2 outs, runners on the corner. And the 1 count as Tatch sets and fires. This one's fouled over the top of the Riptide bullpen with a little bit of football being thrown around. Looks like Nieto is the one doing so, and it is. He's one of the guys that's hot today, so very likely we see him coming in for Tatch at some point. But it's an 0-2 count with 2 outs and runners on the corners. The pitch is in the dirt, gets away from McDonald briefly, but not far enough that Derflinger wanted to test how fast he can get from third to home. So it'll be a 1-2 count now. So the first hit since the second batter in the game for the Bombers, and Dylan Fishbow, is an RBI single. 1-2 foul back. It's the screen. First run as well since that first inning. So it is a tie ball game 2-2 in the top of the 7th. Tatch still looking for his sign. There we go. Finally gets it. We'll set at the belt and bring on the 1-2. Misses a breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. It's a 2-2 count now with 2 outs and 2 on. Man on first is Zitko, and man on third is Derflinger. Derflinger reached on a hit by pitch and then moved over to third thanks to Zitko's single, and that's why he's there. 2-2. Misses outside, though McDonald really liked that pitch. Puts his glove up immediately to Tatch. Says, yep, that was a good one. But it missed on the outside. It's a 3-2 count with 2 outs and 2 runners on.
Nice job by Williams to battle back and get it to a full count, and opportunity to give the Bombers the lead here.
Tatch takes a big deep breath, and the payoff pitch fouled out toward the left side. Man, a walk here would not be good for Tatch. That brings up Dylan Fishbow as one of 3 hits so far in this game and reached via walk as well in his last appearance, last inning. Tatch will set. And the 3-2 yet again. Misses high and outside. It's a walk, and the 4th one on the day.
The second in this inning, free pass given up by Tatch. The bases are loaded, and you brought it up. Dylan Fishbow had a single in the first. Has reached twice today already for the Bombers.
So it'll be a mound visit now, as Coach Ramos, or I guess now the interim head coach Ramos, will walk out there after Grant Mayu was tossed as well earlier. So the Riptide are in a tie ball game right now, but down 2 players as Tony Markosha got his, not going to say revenge necessarily, but didn't like the words that were being sent to him. And what I saw from that, because you guys weren't necessarily here during the break, is it was right as Grant Mayu turned around and started walking back to the dugout. Markosha said, "Nope, see you later." And from someone who didn't hear anything that was said, typically what that means to me is as Grant Mayu turned around, he must have said something.
And yeah, it looked like he was frustrated with Markosha, had a couple words for him. They exchanged words, actually, and it looked like it was over as Mayu was walking back to the dugout. And then next thing you know, he's tossed out of the game with his back turned towards the home plate umpire.
Oh, big curveball swung over the top was Fishbow. So 2 outs, bases are juiced. Tatch trying to get out of this one with only 1 allowed. Here's the 0-1. Dinked right back toward Tatch. He'll get it on to 2 bounce and throw over to Moran at first for out number 3. Only 1 run allowed on 1 hit, though, and no errors. The score is now knotted up at 2. A little bit of time to stretch before we head to the bottom of the 7th. And bottom of the 7th, it's a tie ball game now after the Bombers brought across 1 in the top half of the 7th. But it's the home half now, and it'll be leadoff Jake Evans coming up, and then it'll be Tyler Holland and Carter Dance. First pitch of the ball game for the new pitcher, Gavin Pacheco, hits off the shoulder of Jake Evans. So he'll get hit by another pitch. That's the 6th one that he's been hit by so far this year.
He's been hit a lot, like you said. Coming into yesterday, he was hit by a pitch in 3 of the last 4. He'll take it as he's on, and the Riptide looking to respond after that 1-run top of the 7th from the Bombers.
Well, this is a way to start with Evans on first. Tyler Holland out to the plate. Righty who swings it pretty well, watches the first one go by on the outside part of the plate. Batting .208 this year, .379 on base percentage, and a 5-game on base streak, which moves up to 6 in this game. 1-0 misses high and outside, so it'll be a 2-0 count toward Holland, who's walked twice so far today. Came around to score for the 2nd run for the Riptide back in the 1st, and flew out to center back in the 5th. This is at bat number 4 for him. 2-0. Misses low. It's a 3-0 count now. Pacheco still trying to get going. Yet to throw a strike so far in this bottom of the 7th. Looking to do so here on the 3-0 count. And isn't able to. It's a hit by pitch and then a 4-pitch walk. So a man on first and second with no outs for the Riptide. Carter Dance coming up to the plate.
Pacheco is making his 2nd appearance against the Riptide this summer. The first one, he pitched 2 2/3 scoreless innings.
So Carter Dance today, he walked in his last at-bat and struck out twice.
This is Carter Dance looking for something here as the Riptides have runners on first and second, tie ball game with no outs.
2-2 is the score in the bottom of 7. Pacheco sets, chest tie, close stance, and the first pitch. This is outside, or hits outside. It's an 0-1 count with no outs. So no outs, runners on first and second. Holland stands on first, and then Evans on second. Foul back toward the seats. It'll be an 0-2 count now toward Dance.
Dan's looking for his first hit today, and what a time it would be with 2 runners on and no outs.
Yesterday went 2 for 4, 2 singles, a stolen base, and an RBI. That was his 5th RBI so far this year. Love number 6 here in a 2-2 ball game. Pacheco sets, fires. Inside, misses. It's a 1-2 count now. Dan's batting .304 this year, .333 on base percentage. Lefty on righty matchup. Here it comes. Hit out toward right field. It will drop for a base hit. Here comes Evans, and he stops at third, actually, on a late stop sign from Zach Thomas, normally on the first base side, but coaching third now. So it will be a no-out single into right field, moving Evans over to third, Holland over to second, and Dans to first.
Nice piece of hitting from Carter Dance. The bases are loaded for Colby Moran in the game here.
His first at-bat so far this game, he's replacing Grant MacArthur, who was tossed back in the 5th after he struck out looking. Wasn't the only person thrown, obviously Grant Mayu as well. So bases juiced with no outs. Colby Moran will be the guy to come up to the plate. So far this year, batting .190 with a .380 on base percentage. Has a double and 5 RBIs to his name as well. Yesterday didn't have the best day against the Blues. Went 0 for 4. Grounded out into a 4-6-3 double play, and then the hat trick at the end. 3 straight strikeouts for him.
Not the start to the summer he would have liked, but he's shown at Hope International the type of hitter he is. A .407 average there with 11 bombs and 53 RBIs.
Full infield comes in toward the grass. Everyone takes their lead off their respective bases, and Pacheco comes toward Moran with the first pitch, which misses high. So recap this bottom of the 7th. Evans reached via a hit by pitch. Now he's on third. Holland reached via a walk. He's on second. And Dan's just had that single shortly ago. He's on first. Moran watches 1-0 miss, high and outside.
Pacheco struggling to find the strike zone early. He's hit a batter and walked Holland.
Coming out of the windup now. We'll see if that changes anything. We'll raise the knee in the 2-0. Hit high out toward the Riptide bullpen. Over Nieto's head, who's warming up for the Tide. And will land way foul. 2-1 count now with no outs and the base is loaded. Outfield playing maybe a little deeper than they normally would, but nothing extreme. Infield all on the grass. 2-1. Fouled back. This one straight over Pear Tree Meats. So it'll be a 2-2 count now. And man, would it be a great time if you're Gavin Pacheco to get a strikeout. Last strikeout was actually to MacArthur. That was back in the 5th. 2-2. Misses low and inside. It's a full count now with no outs.
Big pitch coming up in a huge moment in the game. No outs, bases loaded.
Pacheco will come set, and here's the payoff pitch. Hit hard out toward right field. It drops just foul. Man, that was multiple runners coming across. Evans was basically to the plate by the time that ball was hit. And Holland was already at third as well. So that was easily 2 runs scoring. And knowing the speed from Dan's at first, he was probably going to come all the way around too. But we'll see a 3-2 one more time. Pacheco versus Moran. Here it comes. Low and inside. Pacheco walks a run in. It will be 3-2. Riptide now leading as Evans will cross the plate.
Really nice at bat by Colby Moran. Gets the walk, and the Riptide regained the 3-2 lead.
So that's the second walk in this inning now, as well as a hit by pitch. And coming up will be McDonald. Nope, we'll have a quick mound visit from Scott Stanley. Going to want to talk things over with Pacheco as an arm starting to get ready out there for the Bombers. Looks like it's Shane Anderson. And Aidan, well, what do you have on Shane?
Shane played at Giorgio Gwinnett this year, 5-1 record. Didn't play in the first meeting between these two teams, but he's coming in a tough situation with the bases loaded, no outs. We got Luke Johnson and Reed Montgomery coming up alongside Henry McDonald.
So we'll come back soon and introduce them, but first a quick word from one of our sponsors. Experian is your BFF, big financial friend. Big enough to have the resources and knowledge that have an impact, personal enough to help with what's best for only you. No matter where you are in your financial journey, your big financial friend is a trustworthy companion by your side. Wherever you are in your financial journey, your big financial friend is ready to help you navigate the smartest way to reach all your personal financial goals with solutions you can trust. This is Experian, your big financial friend for life. For more information, go to Experian.com. We'll be back here in the bottom of the 7th, 3-2 Riptide lead. And welcome back. Bottom of 7. Riptide lead 3-2. They've already brought across 1 in this home half, but looking to bring across a whole lot more is Henry McDonald. Bases juiced, no outs. On first is MacArthur, on second is Dans, and on third is Holland. Evans has already come across a score in this inning thanks to the walk. First pitch, low in the zone, misses.
Anderson in the game out of Georgia Gwinnett College. It's an NAIA school, helped lead them to the NAIA World Series.
So Anderson will get ready at the chest. And the 1-0. Hit hard out toward center field. Moving back is Fishbowl. Looks like he got a beat on it. He does. He'll catch, but coming across to score will be Holland. And moving to third will be Carter Dans on the sac fly from Henry McDonald.
McDonald gets the job done, gets the sac fly. Riptide a 2-run lead in the bottom of the 7th. Still looking for more as Reed Montgomery steps up.
So it's 4-2. Still not out of it yet is Shane Anderson. He still has to deal with runners on the corner. And Moran on first. And then Dan's on third. Lefty Montgomery steps in. He was hit by a pitch last time at bat. Look on toward the righty and Anderson. One out. Runners on the corners. Delivery. Low in the zone, misses. So Montgomery, last played against the Conejo Oaks, went 2 for 5 with 2 singles, 2 runs and 2 RBIs. Looking to get things going with his first hit today. 1-0 from Anderson. Jammed inside. Gets it to second. Weird bounce. Bottom throws to Williams for 1. Throws on to second to Jang for the double play to end the bottom of the 7th. But the Riptide bring across 2 on 1 hit. And thanks to 2 walks and a hit by pitch, we will head to the top of the 8th, where we will see what the Bombers have to say coming up. And welcome back, top of the 8th. As Nieto will walk out onto the mound, look to hold on to this 2-run lead that the Riptide have just tagged on. It is 4-2 now, as we will face 3, 4, 5 batters, and Lucas Bonham, Michael Rocha, and Jeremy Jones, 2 righties, and then a lefty coming up for the righty in Nieto, who has been definitely a strong player for this Riptide crew so far. Yet again, one of those relievers that has played really well. Aidan, what have you seen from Nieto that's just done so well?
You're exactly right. They really like what they see from him. He came in on a 10-day contract and pitched so well it got extended to the rest of the summer. In his last outing, had a little bit of trouble against the Foresters, but if you go back to Arroyo Seco and the Marlins, he pitched terrific in those games.
When he pitched against Arroyo Seco's, actually put him down 1, 2, 3, which just so happened to also be all by strikeout. So he gets ready, has a quick conversation with Henry McDonald, and we'll look on toward the righty and Lucas Bonham to start. 4-2 Riptide leads as we start top of the 8th. It'll come out to the windup. Delivery from him. Hit hard out towards short. Holland will field on a 2-bounce in and on the run throw over to Moran at first. Route number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Dylan Nieto.
Once again, the defense does a nice job. A routine play from Holland to Moran over at first, gets the first out of this inning.
So now it'll be Michael Rocha coming up to the plate. So far, still looking for his first hit this year. In 7 at-bats. Last inning, or back in the 6th, hit into an inning-ending double play. 1 out, nobody on. First pitch from Nieto misses outside. It's a 1-0 count. So Rocha so far, I just said the double play. Also, he reached via a force out, which was an RBI to bring someone in. Big swing and a miss. So a 1-1 count now. He brought in Williams back in the first. That was hit number 1 of 3 from them so far this game. Love to get on base here and start a rally for the Bombers. 1-1. Up at his head, misses. So it'll be a 2-1 count.
5-pitch mix for Dylan Nieto here. He's got the fastball, the sinker, slider, and also with the changeup and curveball.
Very dangerous pitcher. Has glove up to his mouth and will fire a 2-1, which is jammed inside of Rocha. Sends one back into the seats to our right. It'll be a 2-2 count now with 1 out and nobody on. In the top of 8, 4-2 score. Nieto just working out of the windup as of now. Hasn't had to have a duck on the pond. This time, a little bit of a pitching disruption, timing disruption, and strike 3 looking on the curveball. Raises that knee for a little bit longer than he normally does and gets him with that breaking ball in the bottom part of the zone.
Strikeout number 8 from the Riptide. A nice one from Dylan Nieto, and 2 away in the top of the 8th inning.
That'll be Jeremy Jones. Coming up for his 4th time to the plate today. First one hits bottom part. So 0-1 count, 2 outs, nobody on. Jones so far this year, batting .333. Oh, 1 bouncing in the dirt. It'll be a 1-1 count. So 8 strikeouts on the day now for the Riptide pitchers. First one from Nieto so far. Tatch had 1. Van Ness struck out the side and got another one as well. This one's out toward Holland at short. He'll throw on to Moran at first. A 1-2-3 inning for Nieto. And we will head to the bottom of the 8th, see if the Riptide can get any insurance runs. But for now, the score is 4-2. 4-2 is the score in the bottom of the 8th inning. As it'll be Luke Johnson, Jack Salmon, and Marco Rosales coming up to the plate. Everyone a little bit confused in the infield as the ball rolled to the backstop, and Tony Marcosia said, no, we're not doing another warm-up pitch, so no balls thrown to second. But trying to just speed the game up, which has moved relatively quickly so far. The bottom of the 8th, so still a whole lot of outs to go. Shane Anderson back on the mound, waiting in the bottom part of the order for the Riptide. Here's the first pitch of the inning, high and inside to Johnson, who does limbo to get away from that one. Already been hit by a pitch once today. That was in his last at-bat in the 6th. Grounded out to short as well, and then lined out to second on the first pitch that he saw in the 2nd. 1-0. Jammed inside. Johnson sends one back to the parking lot. So it'll be a 1-1 count. Riptide leading 4-2. They put across 2 last inning. Evans came around and Holland came around as well. Thanks to Moran and McDonald. McDonald, due to the sac fly, Moran walked a run in. 1-1 hit out toward right center field. Going over is Jones. He'll finally get under it and catch with the right hand for out number 1 in this bottom of the 8th.
Routine fly ball from Jones, and Jack Salmon steps up. Anderson looking for 2 more outs, get the bats back up for the Bombers. Gonna tie this game up at 4, but gotta take care of business here first for Anderson.
So now it'll be Jack Salmon coming up to the plate. So far reached via a walk, and then also reached via a force out. Got a stolen base when he was on in his last at bat. First pitch to him. Big swing and a miss from Salmon. 0-1 count with 1 out, nobody on. Salmon 260 on base percentage so far this year, but a very fast guy. If he gets on, it's almost guaranteed that he steals a base. 0-1 from Anderson. Well inside and it bounces. It'll be a 1-1 count. So Anderson came in with 1 out in the 7th. Or no outs, excuse me, in the 7th. Now has 1 in the bottom of 8. Another big swing and a miss from Salmon. It'll be a 1-2 count.
And Salmon looking for his first hit in what would be 3 games. He's found a way to get on, and that's been nice for the Riptide, but would love a hit here.
A 4-game on base streak, but not getting a hit in that long, so doing some things right. Maybe wants to make a little more contact. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 1 on the day for Shane Anderson. Gets down Salmon for the 2nd out of this bottom 8.
Number 11 from the Bombers with Marco Rosales coming up. He's looking to avoid an 0-for-4 day.
So listen to this. The Bombers had 10 strikeouts through 5 innings, and now as we have 2 outs in the bottom of 8, they only have 11. So Tide just kind of avoiding those strikeouts until that last at-bat. But 2 outs, nobody on. First pitch to Rosales. At that mid-chest level, gets called for a strike. 0-1 count, 2 outs, nobody on. Riptide leading 4-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Anderson takes a deep breath, finds his pitch, and will get set at the chest. 0-1 delivery. Swinging on a ball in the other batter's box that bounces once. It'll be an 0-2 count now. Would love to get out number 3 before he has to deal with Evans, who's been on board in 3 out of his 4 trips to the plate. One of the guys that could be a leadoff hitter, but Navarro's done that really, really well his day off today. Evans just doing just as good as Navarro, though. 0-2 to Rosales. Hit out toward the parking lot to our right. We'll see that count one more time. Rosales in his last appearance. Pinch hit in the 6th against Conejo. went 0 for 1. He did strike out. Looking to avoid a hat trick today as he already has 2 strikeouts. Anderson pauses for a while, 0-2. Just misses outside.
And coming into today, Rosales was on a 6-game hit streak, trying to keep it alive. Or 6-game on base streak, excuse me.
Anderson sets at the chest. And the 1-2. Low in the zone, it misses. So a 2-2 count now with 2 outs in, the base is clear. Rosales looking to turn the order over for Evans to come up to the plate. Guy whose on base percentage is .500 and will be increasing after today. Rosales gets ready in the righty box, looks on toward the righty and Anderson. Takes a while, finally lifts. Chopped out toward first, riding the first base line, finally goes foul just before it touches the glove of Jang at first base. And so we'll see a 2-2 count.
Good for Rosales that went foul. That would have been the 3rd out of the inning. Redo things at 2-2.
So Anderson just trying to get out of the bottom of 8 here. Give his team a chance. They'll have to find 2 runs and 3 outs. For them, it'll be 6, 7, 8 coming up to the plate, and Becker, Derflinger, and then Jang. Anderson takes a deep breath, sets the chest. Looks on toward Rosales. Rosales looks back. 2-2. Hits the head of Rosales, who will immediately go down and get right back up. A quick pop-up from Rosales, so a walk over to first. Clearly not intentional from Anderson at all. But either way, it'll be a base runner for the Riptide.
Scary moment there for Marco Rosales. Looks like he's okay as he talks to Camden Sauce at first and reaches for the first time today. For Anderson, for him, it's the top of the lineup and a really good guy in Jake Evans stepping up with the runner on.
I was wondering, and you said Camden Sauce at first. You're right, it is. He's the first base coach right now. A good spot there from Aidan. Zach Thomas over there at third base coach, replacing Grant Mayu. First pitch to the leadoff hitter in Jake Evans. Finds the outside corner for strike number 1. It's an 0-1 count with 2 outs. And a man on first. 4-2 is the score. Riptide leading in the bottom of the 8th. Anderson, after the hit batter, will throw over to check on Rosales. Evans so far gotten on in 3 of his 4 trips, but is 1 for 2 on the day. Single came around to score. Walked in the 3rd, grounded out to 3rd in the 5th, and then was hit back in the 7th, also came around to score. 0-1. Misses low. Rosales will head to second as it gets away from Zitko behind the plate. So a man on second now. Rosales in scoring position for Evans, looking for his first RBI today. Love to get another run across for the Riptide. Rosales goes early, 1-1. Catch the outside part of the zone for strike number 2 as an easy stolen base for Rosales. Gets to 3rd now, as he left well before Anderson even lifted his knee.
Anderson didn't even lay an eye on him, and runner 90 feet from the plate for Jake Evans.
2 outs, man on 3rd, and the 1-2. Hit out toward right field. It's falling but slicing and goes off the fence. Out just foul. So we'll see a 1-2 count one more time in the leadoff man, Jake Evans. Evans' last game, which was yesterday, went 2 for 4. 2 singles, a stolen base, and a run. Continuing to stay hot today. 1-2. Jammed up and inside. Did he go? No, he did not. As a check swing from Evans, who went around a little bit, but not enough. Zitko thought he did, but no thank you, no he did not. So 2 outs, man on third still, and Rosales, who went to second on the wild pitch and then stole third just moments ago. Evans in a battle right now, 2-2 count toward right-handed pitcher in Anderson. He'll lift the knee and send. High heater gets him swinging. So a strikeout for Anderson will sit down the Riptide, but the Bombers need to find 2 runs. It is 4-2. We will head to the top of the ninth. And welcome back. Top of 9, Riptide lead by 2. The Bombers are going to have to find 2 runs in 3 outs to keep things going. It'll be 6, 7, 8, and Becker, Derflinger, and then Jang coming up to the plate. Becker, the lefty, first will face a new pitcher in Nick Bond. The first time that we'll be seeing him here in Orange County.
Making his Riptide debut out of Dallas Baptist University.
Look on toward the lefty in Becker. Actually, instead, it'll be a pinch hitter for the Bombers as McDonald will wander out there and talk momentarily with his new pitcher in Bond, both of which very new to the team. It'll be Alan Chu in the batter's box for the Bombers instead. So choose the lefty to start things off. On deck circle is Gianluca Finelli. First pitch misses low and inside for ball number 1.
It's the 4th at-bat this summer for Alan Chu, still hitless.
1-0 foul tip back into the glove of McDonald. It'll be a 1-1 now with no outs and nobody on. Middle infield back against the grass, especially Rosales out there at second. Corner's playing a little bit deep as well. 1-1, hit out toward right center field. It's destined for to be at least a double. Coming around is Chu. He'll head to second. He'll be sliding a close play, but he gets in standing. So a leadoff double for San Diego. And things are getting a little bit interesting now with the tying run at the plate.
That's exactly what you're looking for when you insert Alan Chu in the game. Leads things off in this inning with a double. And Gianluca Finelli on opening day hit the home run in over the left field wall.
One of the few home runs we've seen here at Great Park. So Finelli up to the plate now, has Chu out there at second. Bond just trying to get out of this, needs 3 outs to send everyone here home. Bond will set the closed pitching stance, first side of the rubber. So the first pitch, which is head out toward right field, coming in is Salmon. Takes a few steps back and will catch and throw in. Out number 1, and staying put at second is Chu.
Bond gets his first out, the fly out from Gianluca Finelli. Settles in here and looks like another pinch hitter.
It's going to be Aidan Harrison. So Bombers doing whatever they can to try to get back into this game. Tying run still at the plate. 1 out, man on second in Alan Chu. Harrison, another right-hander, will step in against the righty in Bond. So Jang only came in, had 1 at-bat and struck out looking. He was pinch hit for Harrison. First pitch. Curveball bottom of the zone, strike number 1. So it'll be an 0-1 count with 1 out and a man on second. 4-2 is the score here in the top of the 9th inning. Bond looking to shut things down for the Riptide. He'll set at the belt. Lift and fire, 0-1. Another breaking ball, bottom part of the zone. He's way ahead now, 0-2.
Harrison in the game hasn't played much this summer at all for the Bombers, but back at Regis was batting .237.
Try to get things going here. Knows he needs to get around 2 runs. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Big strikeout from Nick Bond to sit down Harrison. And San Diego is only down to their last out, and they need to find 2 runs.
Huge strikeout like you talked about, and Bombers down to that last out.
It'll be another pinch hitter in Flynn Barnes coming up to the plate. So, whole new set that Bonds had to deal with in this game. All coming off the bench, a little bit cold. 2 outs, man on second. Bonds looking for the final out in this game. First pitch thrown into the other batter's box, going over to third will be Chu.
Flynn Barnes at the plate. Played yesterday against the Foresters, was 1 for 3. Scored 1 run and struck out twice.
So the Riptide, after that strikeout, have sat down 9. I'm sure that Bond's not too picky in the way that he'll get the final out if he can. It's 4-2, 2 outs, top of 9. 1-0 count to Barnes. Here's the delivery. Big change up below the zone. Finds a swing over the top of it from Barnes. It'll be a 1-1 count now. Riptide, or actions only happened in 2 innings overall. In the first and then in the 7th. The Riptide put up 2 in both. The Bombers only put up 1. 1-1. Off the arm of Barnes. He'll head to first now. And that means that for Thomas Williams, he will be the go-ahead run.
Top of the lineup coming up, Thomas Williams can be the hero here for the Bombers. For Nick Bond, you can still settle down. You just need 1 out here. It doesn't matter how you get it.
So Barnes on first, Chu on third, and the switch hitter in Williams is at the plate. He'll be on the lefty side. Gone toward the righty in Bond. First pitch in there, bottom of the zone for strike number 1. So San Diego getting some offense back into things. We're sat down 1-2-3 thanks to Dylan Nieto. 0-1. Way high and outside. McDonald's going to have to scramble and throw to home. It's not in time. Sliding in easily is Alan Chu. The score is now 4-3.
Miscue there from the Riptide allows the runner from third to score and cut into the lead. Just 1 run now for the Riptide.
So Williams still at the plate. This is his fifth trip there so far. Has a single and a walk. Needs to get something here with 2 outs. 1 out to go for the Riptide before they can end this one. It's 4-3 right now, but tying run is standing on second in Barnes. 1-1 taken. They're wanting to check, or Moran at least is wanting to check. Finally, McDonald asked to check, and he did not go. On getting ready first base side of the rubber. 2-1 count, 2 outs, man on second in Barnes. 2-1. Golfed out towards second. Could this be the game? Rosales gets it and throws over to first for Moran for the 3rd out. So made it a little nervous at the end, did the Riptide, but they got the win either way. 4-3, and the Tide take it over the Bombers. And Aidan, well, what'd you think about today's game? What stood out to you?
Most of the action came in 2 innings, like you brought up just earlier in the inning, the 1st and the 7th. I think it's this nice win for the Riptide. Kind of get punched a little bit, go back and forth, but to be able to come out on top, face some adversity, lose your head coach and lose your first baseman, but they still found a way to win this game.
Well, the first time that at Great Park, at least, we've seen players tossed, and there's, well, a player and a coach that happened to. That was Grant Mayu and then Grant MacArthur as well. So they were sent home early, but they'll be happy to hear that the team got it done. A 4-3 win for the Riptide. Final line is going to be the Bombers 3 runs, 4 hits, and 2 errors. Riptide 4 runs, 3 hits, no errors. So always a good sign when the errors stay away to the Riptide, and it's a common theme. The lower errors you see from them, obviously, the more amount of wins. But we will see you next time. A day off tomorrow before the team will play the San Diego Waves on Tuesday, then 3 away games in the Barons on Wednesday, the Blues on Thursday, and the Oaks on Saturday. We'll have coverage for all of those, so make sure to tune in either to the Riptide YouTube or to the radio. Andrew Giesler, Aidan, Pham, we'll see you next time.